June the 7th, 2023. Guys, you're looking at incredible images. At the top is New York City on Monday. It's from EarthCam, but you notice the NBC Peacock, they were actually showing images of the webcam. Now, EarthCam, same camera they were using, is in the bottom, and that's this morning. Throughout the day, it's still occurring and could go on through tomorrow. It's Canadian wildfires. The air quality index is skyrocketed. Millions are in danger right now, and even healthy people, but especially anybody that's pregnant. They're talking about asthma, the young, the elderly, heart problems, lung problems, anything like that. This is really bad, and they're saying don't go outside unless you absolutely have to, and then wear a mask. But again, look at this. It's going to go on for a few days. We'll look at the satellite images showing that, but there's other information coming in also. Now, in one of the articles, it mentioned that it looked like scenes from Blade Runner, which is in the top. They're very correct. Look at the skyline there. Look at it here. It looks really worse this morning. Canada's got, I think, 140 or so wildfires that are going full blast right now, getting caught up in the jet stream across the top of the U.S., and is getting funneled down now across the Northeast. Millions of people are at risk. Guys, flights have been canceled across the country in and out of New York, and this is going up north of there into D.C., all the way down into possibly North and South Carolina before it's over with. You guys may be already starting to see the effects, but they're saying a ground stop has been issued at Newark Liberty International Airport in New Jersey and LaGuardia Airport in New York City due to low visibility. Now, again, D.C. is catching it also. This is coming in from AccuWeather. It says upstate New York looks like Mars right now due to the smoke. Again, last night, if I didn't mention it, I'm going to mention it again. New York was the most polluted city on the planet. Second was in India. Now, and that change that goes back and forth as this air comes into New York. That just tells you how bad it is. It says the sky is orange. Only longer wavelengths of light penetrate the veil of smoke. You can't see the sun. You're seeing an orange glow. Air quality indices pushing 400. Hazards are hazardous to all. Visibility down to just 1 mile. Now, this is called a smoke and poor air quality today. Notice that the indices over here, 101 to 150, it's unhealthy for sensitive groups, 151 to 200. In places, it could have been just north of New York, they were easily into 171 and 200. But remember, in the worst places we just read, they were up to 400. And that goes off the scales. 300 is the highest level, which is very unhealthy. But all of this, guys, are talking about members of sensitive groups may experience health effects. You go all the way to the bottom to where most of this is at. Health alert. Anyone may experience more serious health alerts. Everyone may begin to experience health effects. Members, again, sensitive groups are you should stay inside if possible. Northerly winds will continue to bring smoke down from wildfires in Canada. Poor air quality is expected once again today. Risk of local fire spread still possible as well due to dry and breezy conditions. Today there, it was mid 60s to low 70s, night low 40s. Now, guys, if you're up in the, this is coming out of Binghamton, New York. If you're in that area, comment and let us know if this overcast of Canadian smoke is affecting your temperature. What would be it should be cooling it down. But one thing they're saying, risk of rapid local fire spread. So you got the fire started there. You got killer whale going off today, gushing smoke into the atmosphere. Other volcanoes over in Russia, off the Aleutian chain, Vesuvius, Mount Popo, many others. And so that contributes to global cooling because you're blocking out the sun, right? And we've seen the chemtrailing going on for a long time, and again, a lot of this is man-made. And if you think about all the military assets, planes and everything, large cargo planes that have been taken out of this country and sent into Europe and left us kind of naked, just a small fraction of those could be putting these fires out. They don't want to do it. Trudeau is they're in lockstep. Trudeau, our demon that's in the White House, and the demons that are occupying all of the nations as far as the high political offices. We talked about this coming out of the book of Enoch. Evil spirits are here. And just a reminder, where did they come from? The giants. And the spirits that were in the giants were not from God, because it was fallen angels and the earthly women. But then the giants mated with the women after the fallen angels, and they became your demigods, like Zeus and the whole bunch of Greek and Roman mythology. Anyway, when they died, they had long lives, but when they died, their spirits could not go to heaven. They were not from heaven. That's another video, and it reminds me of the verse where it says, you must be born again. But that's not what it says in the Greek. It says you must be born from above. Very important difference. And so many preachers, so many people say, get born again. That's not what they're saying. That's why they changed that word as they were transcribing into our Bibles today. Because it, again, just like in the book of Enoch, when that was hidden, they were hiding fallen angel information. But it's not born again, it's born from above. What are we dealing with, the evil spirits? When the demagogues and the giants and all of that bunch started dying off, they started mixing with people. In other words, the evil spirits could not go to heaven, they're still here, and they can infest people. We're seeing that, and most of these people that are infested have invited it in through ritual or something else. And they've turned pure evil. You can see it. Jesus cast out demons, remember? And Legion, there were many in one person. That's what we're dealing with. We are in the days of the end times, and the demons are running rapid. And I'm not calling them demons just because of the way they act. I'm talking about in reality. We have evil spirits running the planet. And what are they doing? They're hell-bent on the destruction of God's creation, both the planet and us. Let's take a look at the satellite. I kind of veered off there, but it's important to realize where we're at, why this is going on, why it's not being stopped, and who started it. Demons. Now, guys, these are satellite images of North America, basically. You got Canada across the top, and the wildfires are coming out of this area right here in Canada. They're being caught up into the jet stream, basically, coming back and then pushed back down here. Now, notice that, let me stop this. I'll show you something. Right here, a lot of this is going offshore. You see it? And it's starting to get caught up in this low pressure system. So you guys here in the Northeast, you're getting it now. It's going to come back on top of you in the clouds. Now, I guess depending on how much moisture or rain is in the system right above you, will this rain down wet ash and minute particles? Or will it stay dry enough to just smoke everything else again? But you're clear as far as clouds in New York, guys, and you saw what we were seeing. There's no clouds over that area blocking the sun. That's pure smoke. And so you're going to have the combination of clouds, whether wet or dry, and you're going to have to deal with this smoke. A lot of it funneling down. We'll take a look at, guys, also, was kind of zoomed down on the Canadian area there, but that's what we got. It's getting pulled right back into this section. Now, again, zooming in here into Canada, you can see these wildfires. Here, and look how quickly they develop. You've got some that's been burning and some that burned through here. But you notice these pop-ups here and along here. how quickly this thing accelerates. And this is at high altitude we're looking at. All of this is going right up out of the top right of this up into the northeast and getting pushed back down into the New York area. And again, the military hardware that's being sent overseas, some of the big tankers and all, could easily be converted to carrying water and other things that would put this fire out. They don't want it out. Demons. Now let's zoom in over the East Coast. You can see New York. This is Long Island here. Put this in motion. Tremendous amount of smoke. This, guys, this is why it's orange over your heads. Look how far this is pushing down. This is into Kentucky. It's not as concentrated, but you don't go very far north. Look at that. This could be put out if they wanted it to. If man, we're not dealing with men, excuse me, but if they were, again, concerned about mankind, this wouldn't be going on. It would have been put out a few days, maybe a week at the most, and they could come in and control it with the manpower, again, the equipment, and the billions and trillions of dollars that continues to flow into a black hole that somehow gets back into the pockets here. Look over Lake Michigan, right there. Look over the Great Lakes. Unbelievable. We saw it last year, but it was not this thick. And we're seeing it now, guys, under this system, just like we did last year. Look here in Arkansas, Mississippi, Louisiana. They talked about it coming down into South Carolina. We're already getting here. This is just maybe an hour north of where I live in central Mississippi. We've seen it before. That's telling us it's going to be rough overnight here, guys. Look at this. This is unbelievable. But none of this is good for you. None of it. So be very careful with it. Wear a bandana over if you don't have a mask. If you got to work outside, check your air conditioner filters. Try to stay inside. Try to stay cool. But now, for some reason in our area, there were some rolling blackouts today. Well, we weren't affected, but some of our family was, and I don't know if other folks have experienced that in central Mississippi. If you did, let me know. But guys, again, with this, the volcanoes, there's a lot going on. This is how, if this is in, I would say this, the cooling periods on our planet, like the Grand Mater Minimum and all, they started with events like this, with the volcanic eruptions, fires at that time, mostly caused by lightning. They're still caused by lightning too, but there was no firefighters. There were no planes to come in and do this. You just had to evacuate, and then as that continued, the earth cooled. We had the summer. We had the year without a summer. And I think that was 1800s, Mater Minimum. And it's just amazing to watch this, guys. And I wanted to come in here and talk about it. I was in the neurosurgeons most of the day today. They did pre-op, blood work, a fresh MRI. The neurosurgeon said she did not want to have any surprises. They were going off last year's MRI, so we did that, blood work, chest x-rays. They check you for anything that could affect you. From what I understand is why they put you under. So I've got to report in. We got all that done, paperwork, all the x-rays. This coming Wednesday, go in at 5 a.m. in the morning. They're going to let me out the next day at noon because they got to go in 3 places. I only say that because people are asking, and be a couple days there that more than likely I won't be doing a video. I'll just see how I feel. But anyway, that's the update on that. I think everything's going to be fine. Don't worry about that. It's something that I put off for years. It started when I was 21 years old in a car wreck down in Gulfport, Mississippi. So for 6 years now, I've had to deal with this. Now it's gotten rough enough to where, and serious enough to where I'm tired of it, and I want to get it where I can do things I like to do without all of what you have to go through when it gets like this. Anyway, I'm not complaining. The Lord has us all in His hands. So I'm not worried about that at all. I'm looking forward to getting it over with. In the next video, I'm going to show you some videos of our pups. They were 10 weeks old today, guys. The last video I put up where I was putting a song in there, I think, Dancing with Angels, and I was sitting in the room, their room, and they were playing. They were 4 weeks old. Now you're not going to believe how big these beautiful blue-eyed babies are. We're watching it. You watch it. It's a heads up. Be safe.